What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Concealed Confessions podcast, where we speak freely, heal deeply. It's your host, Pretty and Demetria. Don't forget to follow our social media handles, Facebook and IG at Concealed Confessions, and on TikTok, speak freely, heal deeply. Also, big shout out to our sponsors, Story Blocks, Jordan Craig Apparels, Kiara's Irresistible Desserts, and I believe it's one more. No? I believe that's...
Blue Chew, Story Block, Jordan Craig Apparels, and Kiara's.
Yeah, we only got 4.
Yeah, that means we got room. That means we got room for some more sponsors. So keep it coming. And also, big reminder, August 30th coming up. We got a hip hop, R&B, and bingo. Come on, got to come out. Put on your 90s, 80s. Come out, have some fun. And before we also get started, I want to go ahead and do a vibe check. Or should we go ahead and introduce our guests? I'm excited to go ahead and introduce our guests. So I'm going to introduce our guests, and then we're going to do a vibe check. So I want to go ahead and introduce our winner of the raffle, Miss Maddie.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Don't be so shy. You was just doing good. Like 10 minutes ago, you was all talkative and everything.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm glad I won the raffle. I think it's great.
Yeah, so I mean, just to go ahead and break the ice, vibe check, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm excited. I think it's important to talk about mental health and normalize the conversation, so I appreciate you guys.
Definitely.
Excited to have you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a peer support specialist. I'm an MSW student. I'm a nonprofit founder. I'm a lot of things, but I'm also someone living with serious mental illness and substance use history.
Yeah.
And that really is the backbone for my why I started the nonprofit, why I'm getting my master's in social work, why I'm so passionate about the topic of mental health.
Yeah.
Sorry, where are you originally from? Are you from Asheboro?
No, I'm originally from Pittsburgh. I live in Liberty now. I've moved around quite a bit. But when I met my husband, he lived in Liberty, and I worked in Asheboro and fell in love with it. The community here is great. People have been wonderful to me, and my nonprofit has a base here in Asheboro as well.
Okay. So, not to pry into your traumas and your past and everything, but is there, can you give us a little bit of your, little info of your mental health and your traumas that you've dealt with?
Definitely. I'm so transparent about this stuff. I talk about it all the time because I think it's important, right? Mm-hmm. If one person hears me today and feels less alone, then it was totally worth it.
Exactly.
And my mental health symptoms really began when I was 4.
Yeah.
So I had I don't want to trauma dump too much. I don't know how far you guys go with that kind of thing.
I mean, this
freely.
is a safe space for you to go ahead and, like we just had a little pre-conversation before, to all our viewers, this is something new. I can't speak for Demetria, but for myself, and not to take up too much time, but this is something that's different being in front of the camera. So you got to excuse us. You grown with us, and we appreciate y'all, and we love y'all so much. So this is our safe space, So go ahead,
Hashtag speak freely, heal deeply.
Let that shit out. Let your shoulders down, up, do what you got to do,
Mine don't go to high. My bad, sorry.
Yeah.
When I was 4, I was actually sexually assaulted. And I told my teacher, and she was like, it's your fault. You're bad. And if you tell anybody, you're in big fucking trouble.
And I understand how that feels. I can relate to that, not to put everything out there too much, but I've had an experience where something like that happened at a young age and tried to say something and wasn't believed.
And it's important to listen to our kids because I developed PTSD because of it. And I developed these symptoms, and I really did it in silence. And then when I was in middle school, I started developing other symptoms.
Hypervigilant.
And I started developing other mental health diagnoses at that time, like paranoia, delusions, mania, depression, these serious symptoms. But I had been coached for so long to be quiet about this kind of thing. So I didn't tell anybody, and I really didn't open up the conversation too much until I was about 19.
Yeah.
I came to my mom because I was forced to drop out of school. They were starting to recognize these symptoms in me. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even leave my house because I was hallucinating so bad. It was really bad. And I dropped out of college, and I told my mom, I just want to die. I don't think I want to be here anymore. Yeah. And so I went to the hospital for the first time, and it started like this really long journey for me of diagnosis after diagnosis, medication after medication, and I had this false belief that a pill can fix anything.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people with mental illness want that to be the case, but it's so much bigger than that. You know, you've got to look at things like adequate sleep, healthy diet, mindfulness, meditation, journaling. There's so many holistic measures that come into play when it comes to having mental illness.
Yeah, and I think and what you just said about medicine, like, there's different views because on my end, you know, I just went ahead and started taking my antidepressants again. But growing up, I've always had a problem with my anger. I'm a hothead. Like, right. So, you know, and I know I'm crazy, you know, but it's just, growing up, I was told, like, I've learned taking pills make you crazy.
Right.
And, you know, but.
That official labels you as crazy.
Yeah, and that officially, you know, it's one thing for you to sit here and play, you're crazy.
Yeah, but once you start taking the pills,
you know,
everybody look at you like you're crazy. It's like, if you're not taking it, why you ain't taking your medicine? They look at you different.
And like I said, as a child, being a hothead, always fighting and things, you would have to get pulled out of class early because now you have to go to the nurse and take your medicine, or you have to leave early because you have to go to therapy for 3 hours after school done ended, you know.
The stigma.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. So I can relate to it and I understand completely.
Right. And, you know, I was overly med compliant. Like, I solely relied on that. And it actually almost cost me my life. Like, I got poisoned by a doctor in 2023. There's a medication called lithium. And she gave me too much, and I wasn't talking, swallowing. I couldn't use the cell phone.
God.
I was in diapers. Like, it was really bad.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but it was the best thing to ever happen to me in the same sense because I was forced to, like, go to the hospital and get help. And when I was there, my heart.
Were you married at the time?
I was married. My husband was my 24/7 caretaker at the time. He was written out of work. I was written out of work. And our marriage was shit at the time.
I know it had to be hard on him.
Hard. He was so traumatized because I couldn't do anything. I was hallucinating. I was talking out of my head.
Hey, that's a good man right there.
Yeah. Do you have children?
I don't. And we were trying when I got sick. So I was seeing some specialists because, you know, I'm on meds, so it's important to do that correctly. And every specialist was like, this is not a good idea. Yeah. And I thought they were full of shit. And I was like, I'm going to do it anyway because I want kids. And then I ended up having a major psychotic break, and they were talking about that, getting pregnant for me.
Yeah.
So actually last March, I had surgery to remove my fallopian tubes because I don't think it's fair to a child to expose them to what could potentially happen to me if I was to give birth naturally.
I respect that.
Thanks.
I respect that.
You know, adoption is on the table, but right now I'm pulling 80 to 100 hours a week between work and school. So
let me ask a question.
You got to protect your peace right now.
I know you don't want to have a kid. Would it work the same if she would have took her ovaries out and gave it to, like, had a...
You mean like her eggs?
Yeah, I mean, her eggs and had a...
I still have my ovaries, and I didn't mean
ovaries. I mean, your eggs and had a surrogate. Would it work? Like, would your babies still have...
There's a chance they could have what I have. So I have what's called schizoaffective bipolar type, PTSD, generalized anxiety, and OCD. Yeah. And there is a percentage chance for me to pass that on genetically.
Do you know the percentage?
It's, you know... I've heard different numbers. One doctor told me like 13%, but it wasn't even that. Like, I feel like I could help somebody navigate that, but the postpartum psychosis that they were talking about with me, like, I went through psychosis severely, and there's no way I could care for a child. Like, that's
genetics is so scary.
And then, you know, you live your life thinking you're one way until you're between 14 and 30 when you get diagnosed with either schizophrenia, schizoaffective, or bipolar. Yeah. And so you have this image of your life and you have this image of your child, and then all of a sudden your world is rocked because everything about you changed. You're labeled. You know, when I was diagnosed, I was like, can I do anything? And it's a hard, you grieve. You really grieve.
Yeah.
Because you're like, and people today, like after I got sick, like I do a lot now. And the most common bullshit I hear is, you're going to get sick. You need to slow down. And I really use it as a motivation. Okay, well, if you think I can't do all these things, I'm going to do it even harder.
Yeah.
And
take pictures while you're doing it.
The people closest to me say that. I mean, they still say that. Like, I just got a new job and they're like, I don't know that you should be, like, just because I have a disability and mental illness doesn't mean I can't achieve my dreams. And there was a point in my life where I couldn't work very well, and I did struggle. So I'm thankful today. Like, I live on gratitude. Like, I'm thankful I can do all these things.
Yeah. I mean, as you should be, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot just for you to sit here and get up out of bed, let alone do what you need to do and take the proper steps to take care of yourself.
Right. When you live with mental illness, it's like thinking 3 steps ahead all the time. So what strategy do I need to use in this very moment to make the next sustainable? It can be draining. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Always thinking ahead. You're not really thinking about the now. You're thinking about the ahead, and then you just.
But I mean, after a while, when you practice these tools and these routines, it becomes second nature. Like, I don't think about it so much today as I used to. But when I'm in crisis, because, I'm in recovery, but recovery is not a linear process, right? Like, I'm still a human being, so I'm going to have bad days. It's just that my bad days look a little bit different, and I have to really think back, okay, what's my toolbox of skills? Who can I talk to right now? What strategy can I use to beat this moment?
Yeah, I like that. I
do too. So let's dive into this nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that. Tell us a little bit about your nonprofit.
Right. So I had this idea, and I was like, why is it that I have to drive an hour to get services? And why is it that my services are so fucking expensive? Mm-hmm. And why is it that they treat me differently? They're not equitable. Yeah. And I was like, why am I coached to be silent? So that's why I started J&E Support Group. I was like, I'm going to make a difference for people like me. The initial idea was to create a support group for people with schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder. Mm-hmm. And I had this idea, and I talked about it, and I had people who backed me, and I was able to successfully open the group. It's Thursday nights online, 6 to 7. And it was so successful that I now have 2 umbrella mental health general wellness groups that are in person. One's in Asheboro and one's in Liberty, and I don't charge for these services. I don't believe in that. I think, and I don't turn anybody away. Yeah, anybody is welcome. And I also do public speaking with the nonprofit, and other people through the nonprofit do public speaking. And our idea with that is to spread education, awareness, and hope. I'm a firm believer that the conversation about mental health, like you guys are doing, needs to be held. It's important.
No, seriously.
It is. And so that's what I do. I will go speak anywhere. That's just kind of my side gig. Mm. And then the other things we're doing with the nonprofit, we're planning a mental health simulation. So it's to give community members an idea of what it's like to walk a day the life of someone with mental illness. So you come to the event and you're given a bio. So here's just an example. You have schizophrenia, you don't have a job, you don't have insurance, and you have 2 kids. How do you walk life like that? So there's going to be tables set up around the room, and you need Medicaid, but you don't know how to apply for Medicaid. So you've got to figure it out. You've got to go to the social services table and navigate that path. Well, now you've got insurance, but you need meds. How do you navigate that? So there'll be a psychiatrist there. You need a job. Go to NC Works, for example, and have them help you apply for a job. It's the step-by-step process of what it's like to live with mental illness.
Like an ABA therapy.
Right.
I'm excited for this because I definitely would participate in this.
Yeah, sounds really interesting.
They have them for reentry and poverty. They've had both of those in Asheboro before. I did the reentry, and it was really eye-opening. And I'm hopeful that the community will come out and, the goal is to break down stereotypes, right? People hold on to so much stigma, especially in our area. Stigma is very high, and it deters people from getting help. It deters providers from coming to certain areas. Mm-hmm. It's a real problem, and part of my passion is to help alleviate that. That's one reason I talk about these things so transparently. If you met me walking down the street, you would have no idea of what I've been through.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say everybody got a story to tell. It just takes the right person to listen.
And it's important to listen to these people. I lived experiences. My goal with my MSW is to become an advocate, policy change, and part of advocacy is lifting voices. I feature recovery stories on my website because I think they're warriors. I think they're inspirational, and I think they should be celebrated for overcoming what they have.
Yeah.
So have you been able to like help with any nonprofits or participate in anything in the community in Asheville so far?
Right. So I partner with nonprofits and work with agencies like that all the time. Like, for example, Keaton's Place, shout out to Keaton's Place. They donate space for us to have a group on Tuesday nights at 5:30. Every Tuesday at 5:30, they have graciously opened the doors and welcomed me. You know, I didn't have a lot to offer them, but they had a lot to offer me. And the Asheboro community, the people that I've built relationships with, have been so welcoming and kind, and they believe in the mission, right? Like, we're a baby nonprofit. We don't have the funding and the resources that everybody else does, but when they hear the message behind the nonprofit, that our message is affordable, accessible, equitable mental health care services and education, awareness, and community support. Like, that's what we're all about. And when people hear that, they're like, oh, I can really get on board with that. And like, we don't pay for any physical space at this point. Like, eventually we will.
Yeah.
But like, and then all the people who work for J&E volunteer their time. Like, people just believe in it right now. And I'm appreciative. I couldn't do anything I'm doing if it wasn't for my community.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can say about Asheboro, like the business owners in Asheboro, they are, as long as you're doing something to benefit Asheboro and help Asheboro grow as a whole, they're going to step behind you and they're going to support you.
Right.
When I had my nonprofit, literally, I had everybody behind me. Susan, Joel, Dusty, like everybody. As long as you're doing something to benefit the community as a whole, they're going to stand behind you. That's what I love about Asheboro. They're a family. Like, their community, the community is a family.
Yeah.
I would say that's Randolph County as a whole, I think, because we also have a group the first and third Wednesday in Liberty at 6:00, and I didn't have anything to offer them, but they sure do give me space. And, you know, these people.
That's that Southern hospitality.
I definitely think this is a special place to be.
It is.
And
I always talk junk and be like, Randolph County is a place that you want to come when you want to retire. I honestly feel like that. Like,
yeah, it's a retirement town.
You don't bring your kids here to grow up. You bring, but I mean,
It's
I grew
a
up here,
retirement
but
town.
I mean, it's nice. But we ain't got nothing but the zoo. But I mean, we nice. We got a nice zoo. We got one of the biggest zoos too, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't we just build like Asia or something?
yeah, yeah, I'm excited to go see that.
Oh, it's not done yet?
Last time I checked, it wasn't. They keep postponing it.
This zoo here is the world's largest walk-through natural habitat zoo in the world.
Ain't no way I'm going to one. It's
and they're still adding on. So
I need to go down
I want to see the tigers when they bring those. I want to see the tigers.
Oh no, I'm not crazy about zoos too much because
it's hot.
It's hot. It's a lot of people. You got the
people.
kids. Let's see, and then them animals. I don't know. They don't be.
You don't never see what you want to see because they always hiding.
Yeah.
It's like where they at?
Yeah. And then my thing, I'm afraid of what is it? I think it's the crocodile exhibit.
Why are you scared of crocodiles?
Because they the way they have it, like they have the crocodiles drugged, so they don't have that much protection between you and.
Oh no! Oh no!
And in their mind, they're like, okay, they're drugged, so you know they're not going to attack you, but still, you know.
Yeah, no.
I like to think that they're just like humans. They could build an immunity to something.
Drugs were off eventually.
Exactly. You get me? And what if somebody wanted to be an asshole one day and just was like, I'm not going to give you your dosage.
I'm going to give you a whole shot just to have.
Yeah, I'm just going to rub your back, let you go to sleep.
Oh,
and
no. We're not doing that.
People are dangerous now. And like, it's a wicked world.
And the way these
I'm
kids
not
be like, hey. Hand beat, I got bit off.
My point exactly. I'm not too big on the zoo. It's an aquarium. I'm an aquarium girl.
I don't like the aquariums.
I love the aquarium.
They smell
I just
so
want to tap
bad.
the glass.
Look, I went to Ripley's Aquarium, and I loved it. I did the ocean bottom, the ocean glass bottom
I
adventure
did that.
thing, where you get into the boat, and the bottom of the boat is made out of
that was
glass,
nice.
and you get to see the sharks underneath, and the turtle. The kids loved it. It was amazing.
I'm way more afraid of that glass breaking and me being in there with the shark than I am the crocodile.
I used to feel that way though. I don't know why. I used to feel like the glass was just going random.
I saw a picture of this aquarium. I forget what it is,
Too
but
many
it's
movies.
like a whole like tunnel you're in that's glass, and I was like, if that shit breaks,
Right.
you're in trouble.
Trust me. Yeah, I've had the
I mean,
moments.
what are you
but
going to do if
nah.
the aquarium glass breaks? Like, is she talking about you aquarium girl? What you going to do if the, like...
I know how to swim though
Just hit
too.
the glass
So I
too
don't know.
hard.
Look,
That's a lot of water.
Jesus
and
just gonna have to
pressure.
take the damn wheel.
You know
I'd
you're
rather
not gonna
take
be able
my
to swim
chances
faster
in the
than water
tunnel.
coming at you, right?
I take my chances.
Take you out. You gonna drown.
I take my chances.
It's gonna take your breath.
I take my chances. Take my chances over
you can run on
a
dry land
crocodile
quicker
not
than-
being drugged properly, and his ass just decided I'm dinner. No.
I'll take my chances running
He suddenly
on dry
got the
land.
taste
I
for
can
some
jump
dark
into
meat.
a tree trying to get away from a
good.
crocodile versus we in water and this thing can swim and eat me.
I'm good. No. Take me to aquarium. Aquarium.
She's serious about it too.
I'm so serious.
She's serious.
I can't be talked out of it. I convinced myself.
Jesus take the wheel.
Uh-huh. So how you find us? I'm just curious.
So the lovely Susan Hunt from Keaton's Place
Yes,
shared your
Susan.
post with me about the
okay,
raffle. Shout out to
okay.
Susan. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, she knows that I'm a big talker. I can talk to a tree, and she knows I'm big into mental health. So she thought the two would be great, and
Definitely.
yeah, I think it was great. I'm excited.
Yeah, Susan's doing really good things for the community too.
She really is. She's an inspiration.
Didn't she just open a
Keaton's Next Steps,
Yeah.
a sober living house.
Yeah,
Yeah, for men.
is it open
Okay.
already?
It is open. They have men living there.
And you said for men?
it is for men.
It's about time they have something for the men. They have a lot of things for the females in this town, but they didn't have anything for the men. So I like that.
You know, we need more just resources. I think
Yeah.
we need a lot more resources, and you know, it takes a special person to build those resources. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask. So I don't know why I'm confused on it. So what's the difference between being bipolar and then like schizophrenic?
Right. So bipolar is a mood disorder. So it's categorized with depression and mania. So depression is like the low and mania is like the high. And your moods kind of fluctuate. You can have psychosis linked to one of those, but typically you have to be like manic to have psychosis with bipolar. Schizophrenia is the psychosis, not the mood disorder. So it's hallucinations, delusions, paranoia. But what I have is called schizoaffective bipolar type, which means I have fucking both schizophrenia.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's possible to have both though.
Yes, I do. It's called. So the reason when I was originally diagnosed, it was just bipolar, right? And then I started having psychosis alone, and they were tracking that, and they were like, okay, well, you're not really bipolar because you're not manic right now, but you're having hallucinations. So yeah, it's called schizoaffective bipolar type. There's also schizoaffective depressive type, which is similar, but you don't get the highs. And so mania is like, you know, they don't sleep as well, they don't eat, fast paced, but it can be really dangerous, right? Because that part of your brain that says this is a really bad idea is not there. Like when I'm manic, I am fucking dangerous. I'm mean, I'm combative, I will cuss you out in a heartbeat, and I will run. I am a straight up runner.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's very dangerous for me to be manic. I think I hate depression more, but it's almost safer for me to be depressed than manic.
No, yeah, trust me, I understand.
Do you know how to catch them and control them when you're going into those stages?
You know, I do for the most part, but in 2023, I hadn't been manic in a really long time. I was living with deep depression and psychosis for so long, and she changed my meds around and took me off my mania medication, and I didn't really understand until it snowballed for me.
Okay.
But today I worked so hard to understand every little, like if I'm so in tune with like mind, body, soul now, like when something is off at all, like I'm so fast to be like, hey, support team, like a doctor, therapist, husband, like this is what's going on. Keep an eye out. Like I will tell anybody in a heartbeat. And I have to do that because sometimes the outside world can see these things in me quicker than I can see them in myself. And sometimes it's hard when people come to you and they're like, hey, are you doing okay? Because I've noticed this, like, it's a bit of an ego punch sometimes, but I have to understand they're just trying to keep me healthy.
Yeah.
But I am pretty in tune. I think the most thing that I have at this point is just the psychosis, but I'm going to have that for the rest of my life. And it's manageable. It's just that my bad days happen to have psychosis. And I'm not like seeing things and hearing things right now, But like delusions, paranoia, I live with a lot of that. And it's some pretty heavy negative shit that goes on in my head.
Yeah, hell yeah, trust me. It's thinking the world is against you.
Right,
like
right.
my aunt, she was murdered by her wife 3 years ago.
I'm sorry.
I'll talk about it at some point on one of these episodes, but she was bipolar schizophrenic.
Right.
Love her to pieces, God rest her soul. But when I tell you, she used to piss me the fuck off, and we used to like bump heads, and it was just like, you're bipolar schizophrenic, and then we the same zodiac sign too.
Jesus.
Like shit is hitting. We would play video games, and she would kick me out the house just because I won. I mean, it sounds funny, but she was so fucking serious. Like, Cheyenne, get the fuck out my house. You cheating.
Damn.
I mean, and like. But then,
cheating.
like 2 days later,
You a sore loser.
but 2 days later, it's like nothing ever happened.
But when you're well managed, like you can control that shit. Like there is something to be said with getting support and getting help. Like I used to be an angry person, and people would see me coming like, oh no, here comes Maddie. But today I'm a happy person. Like I try so hard to be
Here
extra
comes
good.
Maddie, the Maddie. You better be glad we ain't grow up being friends, because I would have been picking on you. Here comes
Maddie,
Maddie,
Maddie.
the Maddie.
My 20s, I was an angry fucking person, and I used my diagnosis as an excuse to be angry. But mental health is not an excuse to be angry. Mental health is not an excuse to treat people like shit.
Yeah.
You need to go out there and get help. Like
that's
you have, and I'm telling you, you'll feel better when you do. Like I love being a happy person. I love not being angry. I mean, of course I have a process of emotions, but like from day to day, I'm a bubbly, happy, empathetic person, and I love it. Like it's such a better life.
Yeah.
But back to Asheville, having limited resources, it's hard to get help when you don't know, have the places to get it and don't know where to go outside of here.
And I'm a peer support specialist, and what that means is I help people navigate systems. So if you're in Asheboro and you need help finding resources, hit me up. Like that's part of my job. Like I don't mind.
Y'all
doing
need
that
the
at all.
resources, hit up Maddie.
Yeah,
She got you.
Yeah, my email, my numbers on my website. Like that's what I do, and there are therapists here, and there's like 1 or 2 psychiatrists. Like personally, I travel outside of Randolph to get support. Like, but my shit's a little more specialized. You know what I mean? Like, we do have some here, but I dream of a day where we can have like all these providers in Asheboro, so I can just drive right down the road to see the doctor.
Asheboro's growing though.
It is. It is. We have some really, really good. The people who are here, who are providers, are phenomenal. Like they care, and they care about the community, and they're good at what they do. So there's something to be said for that. But when you have such a large population and such few providers, I mean, that wait list is there's something to be said for that too.
And there's a lot of people that need those resources. So definitely.
And really, I don't know like what outside they have besides Daymart, but. Not speaking of shade on Daymart, I just feel like the people stop doing that. I just feel like when I was there, they didn't really. They gave me vibes that they didn't care what was wrong with me. They just, here's a brief of what you got, so I'm gonna give you this medicine just to get you out my face type situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like they actually, when the lady that I had, I don't feel like she actually really cared to understand me to know exactly.
You needed that therapy.
I think psychiatrists just kind of run that way right now because they're so overrun. Like their job is to diagnose you and give you the meds.
Yeah, but
like
if I tell you the med don't work for me, why would you up the med instead of taking me off the med and put me on something else? So now I'm over here drooling on myself, looking like a zombie. Don't want to go outside and see nobody.
Yeah, you giving me these meds to make me quiet. I need to let this shit out. I need to,
And that's why so many people in the mental health care system get lost. I was lost for almost fucking 20 years. I couldn't process emotions. I was 420 pounds. I had no motivation. I was suicidal. Like I wasn't living life at all, and it was because I was so over-medicated. But I didn't know how to advocate at that point in my life. And that's why I want to be with my MSW as an advocate, because we need somebody speaking for these people who can't speak quite yet.
Yeah, and also I'm a big advocate on yourself.
Right, you have to be your
doctor
own
is
advocate.
not always right.
I agree. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. It almost killed me. And this is my life, and if I don't like what you're doing anymore, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. You can get mad all day, but I'm the one who has to live in this body.
Exactly.
Okay. You're the one that has to sit there and function on a daily basis. Like, gotta figure it out, not them. So, like I said, like,
Speak up for yourself.
Definitely. I feel like that's one of the number one things that people don't do. They don't speak up for themselves, especially when it comes to somebody in a more professional field. It's like, okay, you know what to do. So
And I think
you're the professional, and it's like,
sometimes
no.
our providers like need to break that down a little bit, right? Like our providers need to not make it a power play. Like, and I'm not saying they all do. I think, you know, when I was going to the doctor, it was like a natural thing, like, oh, they're a doctor.
Yeah.
But, you know, making it more like a conversation than a I'm telling you type situation.
Yeah, because most of them make you feel like you're being told.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna tell me how I feel. You're not gonna tell me how this.
I
makes me
hate
feel.
that. You're not going to sit here and tell me how I feel. The fuck am I here for?
And that's what I mean with equitable providers. Like when I say affordable, accessible, equitable services, that's what I'm talking about. Like a provider that will listen, a provider that respects someone else's
Can we
culture.
do medication that's more affordable? Because some of these medicines are just
Preach
high.
it. Preach
Man,
it.
what?
High.
Listen to this. I just got
You want a kidney?
I
You
just
want a lung?
got new insurance.
They want your firstborn.
Honey,
Man.
I just had
Uncle
somebody.
Silken shit.
I just had them charge me $1,500 for a month of meds.
What the? Oh
No, listen.
Jesus,
I
I'm sorry.
changed insurance. And I got this insurance because they're like, yeah, we'll pay for your meds. I go to refill that shit, and they wanted $1,500, and I was like, I don't have $1,500.
Yeah, it's cheaper to just to go crazy and lose my doodle.
They were like, we have a coupon, and it can be $300. So I paid $300 that month because I was out of meds, and I like researched, and I called the company. And I was like, can you do anything? Like I have to have this to survive. Like it's not a choice for me. The others don't work for me, and I got it down, but I was like 50, like with insurance, it was like without insurance, it's like $2 or $3 grand a month.
Because that's literally the fine line between life or death.
Exactly.
It is. I've tried almost so many meds and they don't work for me. And like, you know, I'm at school, I run a business, I work full time, and I couldn't do any of those things without my meds. And so why is it so expensive? I like my services with J&E are 100% free because I am a firm believer that our healthcare system is just it's too expensive.
Yeah,
It is.
No, for real. Well, Maddie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
But also, don't forget to follow our social media handles, Facebook and IG at Conceal Confessions Podcast, and on TikTok, Speak Freely, Heal Deeply. Also, shout out to our sponsors. Big shout out to our sponsors: Kiara Irresistible Desserts, Story Blocks, Jordan Craig Apparels, and Blue Chew. Yes. And again,
And it could be you. You stop playing. Come on.
Word, stop playing. We trying to get those sponsors, and come on, like it's
Let
a
us
movie.
shout you out. Give you some business.
Exactly, but thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to seeing y'all. Until next time, out.